Okay, bring it to us, brother. You can come close, because we ain't got no mic. Shalom. We're out here once again doing the work of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. This is GMS, Elders of GMS on location. And we're on location right across the street from the UN building, all right? And if you see here, the statement, they shall come close. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Now that's a quote, and it tells you Isaiah. It doesn't mention Isaiah, but it's Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. And I believe it's also in, is it Micah or Malachi? Micah 4 and 1, right. Because at first I said Isaiah 4, I was thinking about Micah. But anyway, it says the same thing in Micah as it does in Isaiah. And they don't tell you what it means. That's the dream that the all the nations have for this world.
Right.
All peace. Mm-hmm. That's why you have the one world building. The United Nations. Take a picture of that. Hand over to that. A monolith, right? Yep. One stone. Yeah, so he just panned over to the UN building. We also call it a monolith, which means one stone. And they featured that in the movie, what is that, 10,001 or 2001 A Space Odyssey? Right. And they mentioned in the movie this thing called a monolith up in the heavens. And it was in the same shape as the UN building. Okay? So there's a reason why they came together. These nations came together in New York, in Manhattan. There's a reason behind it. We've been here a couple of times. If you pan over but you can't see it, there's a thing called a sphera con sphera, and it's a golden sphere with another sphere inside of it. All right, it's hard for me to say that. And if you look at it real closely, you can see that that sphere represents the world, the earth, but it represents another earth coming out of it or pushing out of it. Because you see the first earth being broken up. Okay? So that's a symbolic. That's symbolic for a new world order. Okay? And here's a picture of it, and you'll see more pictures of it. And this is, I believe, this is the one in. I believe this is in Belfast, in Ireland. And there's one in the Vatican City. And then there's Belfast, Ireland, Vatican City, Berkeley in the west, on the west coast, and then you have this one in the UN, and I think there's a couple others. By the way, when the World Trade Center went down, or the two towers went down, they had a sphera con sphera right in front of the World Trade Center, and it got damaged. So they took it down. They propped it up down by Bowling Green in that area. Right. All right. Now I'm going to show you something that this is symbolic for a new world order. Where's that picture at? Okay, one of them, and I couldn't find out which one. That's a close-up on one of the spheres. and you see an actual pyramid busting out of the current sphere. All right?
Yeah, and that pyramid represents the New World Order.
And that pyramid represents the capstone of the Illuminati. All right? I want you to get this article out. You can read that. I want to say something. Oh, this is another article, and it says Illuminati spheres. And we're not even going to get into that, but we're going to get into this one article.
This is.
Well, we can go back over here so we don't get in the way. Make sure you're against the wind. Get on this side. Yeah.
Okay. This is from Living Journey WordPress. It says. Start right here.
Whatever the meat is at.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, it says some of Pomodoro's Sfera con Sfera, which is, like you said, sphere within a sphere,
yep,
can be seen in the Vatican Museums, Trinity College, Dublin, the United Nations headquarters in New York, the Hirshhorn Museum, and Sculpture Garden in Washington, D.C., Christian Theological Seminary in Indianapolis, the De Young Museum in San Francisco, Tehran Museum of Contemporary Art.
See, I didn't know that.
Yep. And
it's in Tehran, Iran.
Yep.
Which I didn't know that.
And the last one they put is the University of California,
Berkeley. Yep. Yep.
He says.
And you mentioned there was one in Trinity College.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't know that. So there's a good 7 of them around the world.
Yep. It says this guy says. Let me see. Okay, I'll read this part right here. It says, this is what the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Italy said about them. Lamberto Dini,
speak a little louder.
Minister of Foreign Affairs of Italy, quoted in a more scary and prophetic way, with a sphere growing inside another sphere, as if a world torn asunder by the horrors of war and suffering could still give birth to another world.
Right, and that other world is a new world order. Because when you go back to the history of the UN, which was established after World War II, after World War I, they tried to establish what was called a League of Nations, and the leaders of the around the world, they wasn't with it. So what do you do if the world doesn't, accept it? You repackage it, give it another name, and you set up another war. All right, and then you give it to them, and they'll accept it. So they took the League of Nations, that idea of the League of Nations. Like I said, they repackaged it, and they brought it after World War II. They brought it back to you as the United Nations, which is the same damn thing. Literally.
Who was that? General Smedley Butler that said war is a racket?
Yeah, speak loud.
That was General Smedley Butler said war is a racket, to push their agenda. Once he realized what they were trying to get him to do, he was a high-ranking 4-star general, and he realized what they were trying to do.
I got a precept for you. This is the book of Psalms 2 and 2. Well, I'll start at 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?"
Good scripture.
Second verse, it says, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. An example of them, the kings of the earth setting themselves together, is this so-called United Nations, which you see the word united. That's the nations coming together, really, the leaders of the nations coming together, really against the nation of Israel, which we are the Israelites. They're really coming against us. Because when you go in the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, it tells you how they're confederate against thee, meaning us, the Israelites. Then it names the nations for you. So that's what it's all about.
That's right.
I got a precept. This is the book of Second Maccabees. Matter of fact, Since you mentioned that, I'll just read Psalms 83.
But before you read that, let me just read one verse. It says, He that sitteth in the heavens, that's the 4th verse of Psalms, 2nd chapter. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. So, even though they're trying to bring this United Nations crap together, the Lord says He's going to laugh at that.
That's right.
All right, let's go back to the Tower of Babel. What did they try to do?
I was
you
just
wanted
thinking,
to jam?
No, I was just thinking the same thing.
Well, there you go.
You know, every time when you look at, that's how we know we're close to the end, that the Lord's about to take this place down.
That's right.
Because when Nimrod was trying to get all the people to come together and build that tower, the Lord got pissed off, man.
Yep.
You know, He didn't want the people together.
Everything
Matter
was
of fact, I'm
one.
gonna get it for
Yeah,
you.
you know.
Matter of fact,
Everything was one back then. All people were together. They were all united. They all spoke the same language. You know, they all had one common goal.
As a matter of fact, go to that in Genesis 11.
right there. Genesis 11 and 1. And the whole earth was of one
And
language.
everybody speak loud.
Got
So
it.
they can't catch it.
Genesis 11 and 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let
Let's
us
go back. Let's go back to the monolith. Read that again.
Genesis 11 and 4. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Now the name today is the so-called United Nations. That's the name, right? Which, just like Elatar said, all they did was repackaged it. First it was the League of Nations, now it became the United Nations. The same damn thing. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded.
Oh. What does the children of men represent? The nations.
Yeah, that's right.
All right?
That's right.
Because you got the sons of men, sons of God, and the children of men. Now, if you notice, in the UN, you don't have any of the sons of God up in there being represented.
That's right.
You have the sons of men being represented in that building, in that monolith.
Oh, well, who was it? I think it was Jordan Maxwell. He brought out the official religion of the United Nations is the Baha'i.
Yeah.
The Baha'i,
That's the
Baha'i faith.
Yep.
All right, so
Yeah, you go to one of those Baha'i temples, they have all the symbols from the different religions on them.
Right.
They want everybody to, you know.
Right, that's what they call pantheism.
Yeah.
Now the word pantheism, pan is all, and theism is gods.
all gods.
So all gods, or the pantheon, was a place or temple in Greece where you had all the deities that they worship all up in that same temple. Because overall what they want to do is they want to take this particular religion and have all faiths and all religions be amalgamated into one. You know, to make it fit for everybody.
Yeah, according to this guy, G. Edward Griffin, in his talk called The Capitalist Conspiracy, he said that basically they want the worship of reason. One world government and the worship of reason.
Right.
You know, reason and logic.
Yeah, because when they gather all these religions under one banner, they're going to get rid of all those religions and have one religion.
That's
right.
That's right.
Which is the worship of reason. Shows you the so-called white man does not believe in Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shah.
Yeah, that's why they're trying to get people away from the Bible.
Exactly.
They got these guys called free thinkers and people that talk bad about the scriptures, you know, because of the fact that they're trying to get away from the true book to establish their religion, their ideas, their ideologies.
Okay, back in Genesis 11 and 5. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded.
Where's that?
And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Right.
So the Lord Genesis 11 and 8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build a city.
Yeah,
Ninth verse.
I'm sorry. Because right now, what they're doing is these international bankers are causing all these conflicts and all these wars to happen around the world, so that people can be exhausted from all these wars and want to come to one agreement. You know, and that one agreement would be the one world order, which in the guise of them bringing peace, bringing prosperity, bringing unity among all nations. That's what they want to bring. But the Lord doesn't want that.
That's right. The 9th verse.
Well, he does want it, but he wants it under us, under righteous rule. Right. We're going to be the illuminated ones. Right. Okay, we're going to be the leaders. We're not going to sit in a round table with all the different nations and hear what they have to say. They're going to have to listen to us.
Dictatorship.
It's going to be a dictatorship, which they hate that word, man. That's why they're calling this guy Assad a dictator now. They didn't call him a dictator 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, that's like the naughty word to get the wars started, you know. Hitler, it's a buzzword, you know.
Yeah, because Assad said something about the rebels that are trying to take down his system. He called them terrorists. Yeah. And some bitch on CNN said, how dare he use the word terrorist? Well, what the hell are they? He can't use the word, but you can use it?
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Hypocrisy.
I got
and anybody who basically disagrees with so-called white man is a dictator, or he's a terrorist. Anybody who doesn't fall in line with the program of so-called white man is a dictator or a terrorist.
That's right.
Yep.
Let me read this.
Just like in the 60s, the buzzword was communism.
Yeah. Communism.
Now it's terrorism, terror, and anything of that nature. That's right. You know.
Yeah, it's the new boogeyman word. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah. All right, let me.
Why can't you people get it, man? Why can't you dummies get it?
That's right.
Oh, I know why. Give me Isaiah, and you bring out what you. Give me Isaiah 25 and 7.
Okay. What's that in Daniel that said the wicked shall not understand?
That's right. Isaiah Daniel 12 and 10.
Okay. 25 and 7.
Bring it on out. Bring it on out.
Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering.
Let's stop. Read that again, please.
And he will destroy in this mountain.
And he, the Most High, will destroy in this mountain, this system, this one world system. Go ahead.
The face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Yeah, because they're not telling the truth. They're not telling the truth of why they wanted to attack Assad.
That's right.
And the reason why they backed off is not because Russia came up with Putin came up with the idea of, oh, if he gives up the chemical weaponries, we'll back off. No, the reason why they backed off because Russia sent down a major battleship down there.
Yeah.
China had battleships down there, and they said, if you attack Assyria, we're going to attack your ass, and we're going to attack Israel. So they thought about the shit, and then you know what they did? But they can use Barack Obama because he's a flimsy monkey any goddamn way. Right. And that's what they did. And people are not even mad at him because you know what? They already know he's flimsy, man.
Right.
Yeah. He's an ultimate flip-flopper. Whoever got, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Let's go back to that, and then you got your scripture.
Verse 8. He will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord power will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his
all faces of the Israelites. Right. He ain't gonna wipe the tears of this Edomite, this white man, or the other nations. And somebody hold on deck Psalms 83. Go ahead, Ak.
And the rebuke of his people shall be taken away from off all the earth. The Lord has.
In other words, that punishment that's on us right now. Go ahead, Ak.
For the Lord has spoken it.
For the Lord said it. Well, I didn't say it. He didn't say it. He didn't say it. Who said it? The Father said it, man. All right? That's it on that.
I was just because you had mentioned.
Speak up.
You mentioned how they want the religion of logic, reason, and all of this. This is 1 Timothy chapter 6 and 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. You know, because they worship science. You know, they worship it. You know,
Worship reason.
they worship reason. They worship
logic.
You know.
Yep.
You know, that's why they come up with that bullshit about the, the Big Bang and all that, because they don't want to keep out of your mind that the Heavenly Father and His Son exist, man. You know,
and that's why they're pushing that homosexuality.
Yeah.